What is going on? Run Pure Sports, Holden here. I got Mangone and Titletown. We're doing a little baseball, 4-game slate today. Looking forward to that. It's going to start in a little over an hour from right now with the Marlins taking on the Atlanta Braves, trying to stave off elimination. Mangone, I love this. Every single day, we got no off days. I'm hoping Miami can extend this so we can have another 4-game slate tomorrow. All the teams that are down 2-0, go win today. I cannot get enough 4-game slate playoff baseball.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm definitely enjoying it and excited for another slate, man. 4 games is definitely good. And it's like a nice amount where I still feel like there's enough of an edge, right? The 2 gamers, it's like there's an edge in GBPs for sure, but it's a less lame, right? But there's more options, I guess, you could pick from. And I always like having more choices. It makes it more fun and an enjoyable slate.
All right, I just hung out with Title last night. We were doing our NFL spread pods. If you play NFL, make sure you head over there. Check it out. Give us a like and subscribe to his Title. Good to see you, buddy. It's been a couple hours. So let's get right into the slate. I want to get your thoughts on Atlanta against Miami. How popular do you think the Miami bats will be today? And is that a legitimate way to go in tournaments and even cash?
Yeah, so this slate's very interesting right off the bat. Pitching's bad. If you told me anyone right now would go 6 innings, I would absolutely take them and lock them in. It's just one of those slates. Like, I'm not playing Greinke. He's not going to be on his normal leash. Frankie Montas is up top. Like, Kyle Wright's definitely in consideration. But, yeah, we'll just start with this game. Both pitchers are in consideration, and Kyle Wright and Cisco Sanchez, just because if they're pitching well, they're going to have a longer leash than the other guys. Like, they could go 6 innings, maybe even 7 innings if they're really pitching well. But the thing is, like, the Marlins and the Braves are also in kind of good spots as well. But it's 4 games. It's playoff baseball. I'm not playing cash games anymore on these slates. Like, there's too many unknowns. A lot of teams are just in very similar spots. So I have cash. I'll still be talking some cash, but I'm mainly talking tournaments. Kyle Wright's my guy right now as SP2. He's 7,200. I don't love the play. I don't have a lot of conviction on it, but it gets you whatever you want. Marlins have a 4.2 implied total, so that's not too much. I'm scared about the lefties a little bit. I'm fine targeting Dickerson and Birdie. Birdie's not how you pronounce his name. How do you pronounce? I know that for sure. How do you pronounce his name?
Bertie?
Bertie. Oh, I was closer than I thought. So Bertie and Dickerson are the two that I have interest in against Wright, that I'm fine using them in the same lineup. But other than that, I think he has some good stuff. He's a young, promising kid. And if he limits the walks and limits the guys on base, I think he'll have a pretty good performance at 7.2K. And then Sixto Sanchez, he has good stuff, but this Braves team's been really hot, and we know that. So I'm not going to have too many Braves. I like the other spots more. But they're obviously in play on 4 games. I'm just curious to see what Travis likes.
Yeah, Travis, is this Birdie? Are we going like 90% today? Everybody's just going to lock him in at second base because he's 2,500 on DraftKings?
Yeah, I don't know about like lock him in at second, but this is the thing, like second base, like I always like punting it. I prefer it. And like the way these slates are, I don't know if you noticed, if you've been playing, like you can't really punt catcher. Like there's enough good catchers. And on top of that, like it's just like there isn't really anyone that you want to punt with. So I've been punting more with second base. Sure, like you could say, oh, Birdie's a good play to punt with, but like why not punt with Pinder, right? Pinder's been hot. He's a guy that I think I'm going to be looking at. Maybe punting with instead is my option at second base. Sure, you can punt him at third base, but I don't think that's necessary or the route that you should be going. So yeah, I think Pinder is definitely the second baseman I would prefer. And also, if I'm not going to punt it, right? Am I going to go in like the mid tier with like Cronenworth and like I was going to say Jonathan Taylor, Chris Taylor, getting all the sports confused there. But I would go up to like a DJ LeMahieu, right? Or a Brandon Lau. Like I think it's a day at second base specifically to either go all the way up or all the way down.
Hey, Brett M says you were right, Title, that it's Birdie. See, I just say Birdie, but it's Birdie. So you got it. I emphasize the D too much.
Birdie. All right, perfect.
Very good. Glad we got that out of the way. So let's start talking some bats from this game besides for just the Marlins. Well, how about this, Travis? Like, who else is viable? I guess everybody's viable in a GPP, but who else would you target from the Marlins? And then give us a nice breakdown of the Braves.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much viable today in GBPs, right? You can make a case for almost any player. It's, game theory, all these different things you can make cases for. The case to be made for some of these guys. Let's go with where is it? Is Jorge Alfaro going to be in the lineup? That is the question. I don't know if he's is he hurt? Yeah, he hasn't been playing, right? It's been Wallach. So I was looking at this earlier. I thought it was Jesus Aguilar's BVP was amazing. It was Alfaro's BVP was amazing. So now I'm all rattled right now because Alfaro was 4 for 4 with 2 dingers, and like the BVP's been paying off, man. I've been definitely looking at it. And I'm trying to find like which ones are the best spots. And there's not a lot of great ones. I don't love Kyle Wright. I'll say that today. I also don't know if I love this Marlins offense that much. I think you can make a case to just maybe play the pitchers in this game and kind of move on from it. I'll say the Sixto Sanchez, he's a guy I really like in this spot. I think he's got some really good upside compared to some of the other options on the slate. That Marlins bullpen, it sucks, right? This is also like a win or go home kind of game for the Marlins. Like, it's like, so why would you go to the bullpen when Sixto can just go out there and give you, the most he can? You can make a case that, oh, the Marlins might use more of their arms to be able to get the job done. But like, listen, like Sixto's like their guy. Like, he is the best one they got right now. So I wouldn't be shocked if they just ride him to the end. So yeah, personally, I like Sixto a lot. You can make a case to play guys like Freeman and all the other bats. But the problem I have with this game in general, Holden, is I don't think it's good for stacking. If you want to take a one-off here and there, that's how I would handle this game. Take a one-off here, one-off there, throw it in your lineups if you really want exposure. But I would rather backload and kind of fade this game from a hitting perspective and just play like maybe Sixto Sanchez.
So just any one-offs from the Brave side. Like Freeman is Freeman's everybody's in play, but what's your stand on Freeman today?
So I guess my problem with Freeman is like, do I want to play Freddie Freeman or do I want to play Max Muncy, Matt Olson, Cody Bellinger? There's just a lot of bats at first base that I like instead of Freeman. It's nothing against him. He's a really good player. I just don't think I need to go that route this slate. I have really been fading these Atlanta Miami games a ton. I haven't been really on them as much. Yesterday I had Darno and he helped me out a bit. I had Acuna too though, which was frustrating, but I don't know. I just don't think this is a game that I love the bats as much from. I think if you force me to pick, I'd rather take some pitchers, and my favorite would be Sixto.
All right, Joey Work is in the chat. Big hits last night on the bet side. What up, Joey Work? He better be dropping his free play today, and I don't want to be in any Marlins stuff. Come on, we're all on the Marlins today. Let's go, Joey Work. Dig it up, baby. Give us something. We love you. Title. Here we go. This is the big breakdown from Title. What are you doing with the Braves today? Doesn't seem like they're going to be very popular.
Yeah, so I'm not as interested in the Braves just because they're like other spots more. I do think Sixto has some good upside. My favorite one-off is Travis d'Arnaud, just because, as Travis mentioned, the catcher position is just really weak, and the salary is really soft too on DraftKings and FanDuel as well. But DraftKings specifically, I just would rather take Travis d'Arnaud in the 4-hole in a good offense. Like, they should score runs, and he's affordable at 4K. So he's the one I'm really looking at. There's Acuna and Freeman, but I'd rather play like Tatis and Machado right now. I don't know if that's contrarian, maybe not, but those are the guys that I'll prioritize in the top range. So I won't have too many Braves, and I will have Sixto and some GPP lineups for sure. I like this pitching in this game.
All right. Hey, Travis, real quick, you said BVP. Like, you're going – these guys have seen the other teams so often lately. It really is fascinating, especially these two teams we're seeing in the same divisions. How are you using BVP?
Yeah, I mean, I'm using it, but the issue you have with it is, and I felt like I ran into it a little bit yesterday. I forget which game it was, but I remember watching a game and I was like, man, the guy that I thought was like in a really good spot, he only got one at bat against that pitcher, right? And like some of these pitchers suck, and like K Alex may bring out good points in the chat. Like, he's talking about how like he thinks the Padres, their bullpen's in a must-win game, right? So like you're just gonna see them like throwing everything out there. So like, you can make an argument, like if a guy like Garrett Cole's going out there, you're probably getting like at least 2 or 3 at bats against him. Some of these guys, you might only get the 1 at bat. And it depends where they hit in the order as well. So that's obviously something to note while you're kind of looking at the BVP on these guys. It's been pretty good. And I'm someone, I like to look at it, but when I look at the BVP, I like to go and look at like what pitch types are they throwing, and how do the hitters that I'm looking at that have the good BVP, how do they do against those pitch types? Because like, it's not crazy, right? If someone's good at hitting a slider, they're good at hitting a slider, right? Like, it's not like it's like, oh, like this guy's slider is different than another. Like, it's just that's how it is. So that's kind of how I handle it all.
All right, cool. Let's move on to game number 2. Unless you got anything else, Title. We set?
Yep, we're set.
All right, let's do it. Game number 2 today, Oakland and Houston. Good God. This is my favorite game ever because yesterday just kept banging the over. These balls are just flying out of the ballpark. We're seeing it there. We're seeing it. I mean, Dusty Baker's even saying it yesterday. He's like, the ball's just going out to right field and right center field. So I look at this and I look at and I'm even with the pitchers, if we get some fly balls, especially to right field, boom. I mean, there's going to be runs on the board in all likelihood. So how are you handling this game from an offensive side?
Yeah, so you brought up a good point. Balls have definitely been flying. It's the best park and situation for hitters on the slate for sure, no doubt. But I'll start at pitcher because I think you have to start a pitcher in this game before you talk about bats. And Frankie Montas is he's my favorite pitcher on the slate. And that's that's saying how bad this slate is for pitching. I mean, he has a lot of rest, so his arm's good. He shouldn't have he shouldn't be pulled early or anything if he's pitching well. I'm expecting 6 innings if he is pitching well. If he gets hammered and balls fly out early, obviously he's going to get pulled and they're going to go to the bullpen. They got to win. But I think if he gets rolling, he's going to be pitching well. And there's just other spots. Like, I don't want to play Montgomery later. I'm not playing Zach Greinke in this game because his leash isn't too long. We talked about the first game where pitchers are viable, but like Dustin May in the Padres game, you can't play pitchers there. So you really have a very tight pitcher pool, and Montas is just forced to be one of them. So I'm going to be more heavier on Montas and less on the Astros, just how the slates work. And I'm going to hope there's more ground balls or the balls do stay in the park. I don't know. I don't have a lot of conviction over that. That's just how the slate is going. And maybe the Astros are a good tournament play because Montas might come in higher owned than he really should. But I'll let Travis talk to that side. I do like this Oakland side a little bit, though, against Greinke. Chad Pinder, 2.2K, second base and third base eligible. He's going to be one of the most popular plays on the slate just because he's so cheap. Both of the positions are so weak. So I like him a lot. I like Marcus Semien a lot too on FanDuel. He's even a better play at a shortstop position that's really weak. He's affordable. He's in the leadoff hole, so I like that a lot as well. Other than those two, I don't have really too much interest. Chris Davis actually is the third I'm going to mention, 3.4K, and has absolutely been crushing the ball. I expect those three to be somewhat popular, but I don't think ownership on anyone outside of like a Pinder and maybe Stanton later is going to be like overly popular. So those are the three Oakland bats I'm looking at. I'll use those three as like a mini stack and build from there in a lot of lineups.
In the chat, Kevin, who often is in here with us, and hit the like button while you get a second. He's talking about the weather dropping. You're right. It's going to be in the mid 70s today. It's not going to be in the 90s. I'm still very confident. Afternoon baseball in that ballpark. Been there quite a bit. Maybe the ball doesn't fly as much as it did. I still see the ball going out quite a bit today. And the other thing I want to bring up is Joey Work just dropped his free pick in the chat. Love it when Joey Work pops up. So I got to find player props here. Hopefully they're up in the legal books, but that's what we're looking at. Mangone, offenses in this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, offenses in this game are definitely going to be ones to look at, Holden. I think if you look at the A side of the ball, I talked about some of the BVP stuff, right? Someone mentioned in the chat too, like Chris Davis, right? Dude's got 5 hits, right? On 11 at bats, and it's like 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Like, and the guy's been crushing the ball lately. And I agree with Big T. Like, he is like a righty masher, right? It's weird. Like, he hits righties better than lefties. It's just that's how he's been. It's strange, and he's hitting the ball a lot better. I believe he's in the lineup. Yep, still in the 4 hole. So that's obviously encouraging him. I like this A's lineup. The one thing to love about the A's lineup is like up and down there's a ton of power. And I think that there's opportunity there. And Pinder's price, it's what he does for your lineup too, right? Like Pinder, Chris Davis, they're just too cheap. If you look at the price tag, DraftKings, 3.4K and 2.2K. I get it. It's one of those slates where we talk about like, how much value do you really need? It seems like there's not like these things that you definitely want to spend on. I think later on there's some guys I want to, spend up for, and I think getting in some of those priority bats makes sense. But like those price tags are just amazing on those guys. Another guy, Marcus Semien, he's a really cheap shortstop play. DK, it's a little more expensive, but on FanDuel, like you can play the top of the order of the A's stack with a nice implied total, and they're all under 3K. I mean, the highest price guy on FanDuel in this A's offense is Matt Olson at 3.1K. That's it. I mean, there's just so much you can do by playing the A's. So mix them in throughout your lineups. Like, they're definitely great value plays that you want to get exposure to. And like one of them is going to hit a home run.
The Greinke thing's really interesting. Like, don't you think Javier is going to have some ownership, right?
Yeah, he's the replacement, right? I don't know what the exact like thing they're doing on this slate with him is. I know they just announced Greinke.
They're going to run him out there
for tell us.
Yeah, Title. I feel like you had kind of alluded to this earlier. I think they're going to roll Greinke out. Just hope he can get through there. You know, he's got the arm soreness. Like, good luck if he gets through 4 innings. Can you expect too much more than that?
I'm not even expecting 4. I'm expecting maybe one time through the order and then bring in Javier a different arm, different side. But
so how about Javier?
Yeah, it's just I think that's trying to getting a little too cute, to be honest, because he might even be like another 3-inning guy. It might just be a bullpen game. Like he might get his 3 innings, and I don't know. That's why I like Montas and Wright and Sixto Sanchez. We at least know that they're gonna be starting, and if they do well, they might have a longer leash. So I'm not gonna touch it.
Okay, very good. Any final thoughts on that one, or are we moving on? Moving on. Beautiful.
Holden, real quick. This is you're just being so hurtful, man. What's going on with these likes? The chat is hurting my feelings. You haven't told anyone to like and subscribe.
I did. You weren't listening.
I wasn't listening. How are there 27 likes then only? There's no way.
You could call them out, but don't you call me out. I've said it twice already. You know what we need to do? Give stuff out. Okay. So here.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, it's
you can have 5 only. You can take a choice. You can have a Run Pure Sports gear or the underwear that Mangone is wearing right now. So hit the like button. Look at that. We just got 2 likes in like a 1/10 of a second, Mangone, when I brought up your underwear. So make sure you wash it when we ship it out. Is it Run Pure Sports underwear?
Yeah, I mean, of course, man.
You seem like a boxers guy.
Big T got the good stuff too. You know what I mean?
You boxers guy, Mangone?
I mean, boxers, of course, like boxers or boxer briefs, they're both
boxer
good.
Briefs. You need some support.
They're both good. I mean, I'm in on either. They're fine.
This is an old man conversation. I'm out of this one.
Well, hold on a second. This is not an old man conversation.
It's free balling days.
Free balls, free money, Freddie, and free ball and Thursday.
And free money Sunday. All of them.
Who said Mangone was wearing underwear? Great point. That's right. Steve Anthony heard me too, Mangone. I wish I could put you in timeout for 3 seconds. You're too important for this show, though. So hit the like button.
The scary thing is like, is Redmond in this room? Because he is right. Like, I mean, dude, I'm at home. Like, I'm not wearing underwear right now. Like, what's going on? Like, come on. Like, who's wearing underwear when they're home? Am I right?
No, I do.
Yeah. Again, I'm with Title. I think on this one. This is the old man conversation for you, Holden.
Yep. I think we go down to the next game.
You know what? Thank you, Title. Thank you very much. We're moving on. You know what, Title? You love yourself some Jordan Montgomery. So why don't you talk about him, and then Ryan Thompson's opening, but Yarborough will probably come in for 3 or 4 innings. This just looks like one of those games where the Rays are going to try and patch it together, right?
Wait, what? Who said I like Jordan Montgomery a lot?
I think you said you like Jordan. You're just going to – you like Kyle Wright. I think it was Mangone that likes Jordan Montgomery.
I do not like Jordan Montgomery. I did when you said Title like Jordan Montgomery, I did like the Bruce Arians just spin around. Like I was like, what? Like what's going on here? Like
he's putting words in our mouth.
No Jordan Montgomery here. I am not.
Okay, good. So Title, you love Jordan Montgomery, but since you're not going to start him today, what about any pitching whatsoever in this game? It's all dead, right?
Yeah, the thing is, Jordan Montgomery is going to get ownership just because because this is how this pitching slate is, and he's a starter, and if he pitches okay somehow, he's going to keep going. So I'm going to fade Jordan Montgomery ownership. I think he's bad. I like this Rays offense, especially if Jordan Montgomery is going to be popular. I'll have a ton of Rays. Yandy Diaz is only 3.4K. Arianza, I didn't pronounce that right. I know that.
Arozarena.
I was way off.
He's a stud. You better get to know his name.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I've seen his stats and I've been watching. He's been crushing the ball. I don't know. Sometimes I listen to like the NBA finals or something. I watch baseball on mute. So that's probably why. That's why I don't know all these pronunciations. But he's raking. I know that for sure. So I expect him to be in the 2-hole. 3.8K is way too cheap. And then from the Yankees side, those are my 2 Rays bats. If I find another one, it'll be like a Hunter Renfroe. He's a lefty masher, has a lot of power. But I like the Yankees side a lot. It's hard not to. Stanton is out of this world right now, and his price keeps going down. Like, what is DraftKings? Did they just give up on baseball, or like why is his price going down and he just keeps homering? So 4.3K, that's a lock button for me. I'm going to chase it. Hicks 3.5K is way too cheap in the outfield as well. DJ LeMahieu 4.9K, Judge 5K. Like, you literally can pretty much play anyone you want on this slate. Leaving salary, don't be scared to leave salary. Like, if you like the Rays and you stack them, like, you're going to leave salary. It's just how the slate works. So I'm going to pay up for Stanton and some of that, but I don't know. I'm not going to have Judge just because the outfield position's so loaded and I like Hicks and Stanton more. So it's kind of hard to have all three outfielders there, but I'd be more inclined to play like a DJ LeMahieu just because of position eligibility.
Okay. Very good.
No pitchers in this game. Hitters are something to target.
I mean, seriously, Stanton's hit a home run in 5 straight. He's got 6 home runs over those last 5 games. Is that just a misprint? What happened? What happened?
Look at like Chris Davis, 3.4, Pinder 2.2. Like, I honestly don't think DraftKings is like, they're just focusing on their contest sizing. And I really just don't think, I honestly, like with NFL, and I mean, I don't think there's any other explanation like why you can literally play anyone you want. I don't know. I think they gave up on baseball pricing. Who knows?
Mangone, you've been doing this a while too. Like, what is that from? What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they just like kind of ignore stuff sometimes, and it is odd. But like, listen, like I get it. I don't love fading like a really like just pitcher that's like hitter that's on fire. Like, I hate doing that, right? But what is his ownership going to be at that price? Is it just going to be like through the roof? I mean, is there a case to be made to fade it? I mean, I'm more so asking. I don't know if it's like the right call. I mean, it seems like it's tough to peg what to do here with the situation because that price tag is way too cheap. But if there's a hitter that's like 50% owned, Holden, even in tournaments, like there's a case to be made not to play them. I mean, just because if they bust completely, I mean, it hits really big, man. It's massive, massive leverage. So, I mean, you can make a case in tournaments to obviously fade a guy like a Giancarlo Stanton. I don't know if exactly I'm going to do it, right? That's one of the things. I think you can play him as like a one-off. I think that's perfectly fine. I just don't know how to handle the situation completely. I think he's one of the better plays. Cash games, I think you want to get him in your lineups. It's really hard to fade that price tag.
I think either one of these teams. Okay, let's just ask you this way. What game is going to produce the most runs? The Padres and the Dodgers, or this game with the Rays and the Yankees, or Oakland, Houston? What's the number one game today for offense, Travis?
So I'd say my number one spot, and I saw Kay Fallick in the chat was like wondering why basically anyone like the Dodgers is with the being a bullpen game for the Padres, but I'm not scared of the Padres bullpen. I really like this Dodgers offense in general. They have so much power and pop. They have so much upside, and I think it's a good day to get them into the lineup. So I'm definitely gonna be looking to play those guys today. I like me some Dodgers here. I also like the Rays. Rays are gonna be one of my top offenses too against Montgomery. There's just so much leverage that you can get here, right? So much massive amounts of leverage. You look here up and down the lineup, there's so much power. There's so much pop from these guys. I'm going to be playing Rays and Dodgers. That's like mainly the 2 stacks I'm trying to focus on. I also think there's a chance, right? Like maybe I like get off of one of these stacks, right? Like maybe as I'm doing my construction, and I'm not playing anyone in the first game, so I have more time to kind of like figure things out and look at lineups. There's a chance maybe I like get like 3 guys in the Astros and A's game, take one-offs here and there. Like maybe take Pinder, Chris Davis, and like Alex Bregman. And then maybe go like a 4-1 with like the Dodgers and like my favorite Ray, or 4 Dodgers and or 4 Rays and my favorite Dodger. That's kind of how I'm looking to construct my lineups today with like Sixto Sanchez. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it in tournaments right now. My 2 favorite offenses, no doubt, they're the Rays and they're the Dodgers.
Okay, so give me a little more on the Rays then, since we're on this game.
Yeah, so if I look at the Rays, like I want to play like second base is not the easiest position to roster, and I want to play Mike. I'm not going to say his name right. Mike Brousseau. Is that how you say it, Holden?
Yeah, Brousseau.
Mike Brousseau. Okay, I got it. So Mike Brousseau, and then Randy. You said it before.
Macho Man Savage.
Yeah, man. Let's call him Randy Macho Man.
Arozarena. Very easy. Arozarena.
Yes, Arozarena. So I'm in on Mr. Arozarena. He's been crushing the ball. I like to play hot hitters. He's definitely a route that you can go. So I'm definitely looking at Arozarena. Definitely a guy that I want to get exposure to. And Hunter Renfroe, too. Another righty that can absolutely crush lefties. I'm hoping he's going to be in the lineup. That's something I'm hoping we get. And even Mike Zunino. Mike Zunino is another guy, a power catcher that you can go to. Do I prefer like Will Smith? Yes, I prefer going to him instead. But you can make the case on a site like a FanDuel, right? Why don't you play a Mike Zunino and a Will Smith together? that means you're fading every first baseman on the slate, which is like a difficult thing to do. And it just naturally gives you a unique construction where you can just play whatever you want then. You can just play the guys that you like. Don't have to worry too much. And I've been doing that a lot more lately. I've been playing more catchers kind of at that position, because if I see a catcher that's in like a good spot, I'll kind of take a chance on it. Like yesterday, I played, Travis d'Arnaud as one of my catchers, and then I dabbled in the idea of going either a Murphy or a Will Smith. That's kind of what I looked at, and I ended up going with Will Smith. I think is my last spot. I made some late swaps, so maybe I wasn't completely correct on that, but that's a route that I've been looking at to just try and be different on FanDuel and able to still play these really good plays that I just think are too strong of values over on that site.
Yeah, I like the Zunino call there. He hit a home run his last time in there. Nobody's going to be speaking. No one's even thinking about Zunino. Are they title? Like, what's your plays from this game?
Yeah, so I mentioned this game pretty much. I want to circle back to what Travis said a couple minutes ago about Stanton. If he's going to be 50%, I will literally fade any baseball player regardless, any hitter if they're 50%, just because there's so much variance in baseball. Like Mike Trout can go 0 for 4 any day. Stanton can go 0 for 4 any day, especially in playoff baseball. Like the odds of that even go up because they're not going to be pitching some garbage dude. So if he's 50%, absolutely you can fade that in tournaments, but in cash, I mean, just plug Stanton in. So I thought that was a good point. I don't know what Stan's ownership's going to be. If it's 30s, then it's like, all right, then I'm going to want to play him, but 50% is ridiculous for any hitter.
Yeah, Steve was saying there's like 15% projection. I don't know where that projection
How
is.
how is that possible?
It's
though?
not. It's I don't know whose projection it is, but I feel like it's impossible that it only at that price. Like
a lot of people
salary relief.
I don't know if so many people look at these ownership projections. I don't know where they get them from. Like I do my own ownership in my head just because like we play every day. We see what people do. We know like trends. Like I don't know where some of these, I don't trust a lot of ownership. I don't think there's good ownership projections out there in the industry. I could be wrong. Maybe I haven't found something other people have, but 15%, whoever's touting that, I don't know how.
Well, like if you just like scroll, like open up the DraftKings and just scroll, right? What pops off the page? Mookie Betts against a lefty. That's actually pretty like cheap, right? Like 5-3 against a lefty is a pretty cheap price tag.
Everyone's cheap.
Like, yeah, of course. But like, what else pops up? Like, does Acuna at like 5,100 against Sixto Sanchez be like, oh, that's value? No. The next guy you get to after Betts that like pops off the page is Stanton. Then you scroll again, and what's the next guy that pops off the page? Springer, what was his price? His price
4.8. He's hitting deep.
But it's Montez. Like it's not bad. It's good. I think the next one that pops up then is Davis. Like those are the three that just like popped to me. I guess Corey Dickerson at 3K popped a little bit too. But those are like the four that popped out to me. Was that the same to you, Title?
Title, you there, buddy?
I don't know what happened to Title. Yeah. There he is.
Hi, Title.
Yeah. What'd you say?
So I just went down and I said there's four guys at outfield that kind of popped out that I said are value plays. They were Betts was a value to me. There was Stanton was a value. It was Chris Davis, and it was like Corey Dickerson, just guys that I felt like were like really mispriced.
Yeah, I agree with all those. The thing is, like the highest price per player on this slate is Mookie Betts at 5.3K. Mookie Betts. So, and like our pitchers, the highest pitcher we have is Frankie Montas at 5.4K. So I just don't think people are gonna I think people are gonna try and use all their salary and they're gonna play like Mookie Betts just because he's the highest priced guy, but he's affordable. And then they're just gonna like scroll down, like you said, and they're gonna be like, oh wow, Stanton at 4.3K, is gonna be my lowest outfielder because you can go Springer, like you said, or another big name, Acuna. Like you can literally fit anyone. And at 4.3K, like any casual knows the name Giancarlo Stanton. Like he has massive power. Everyone knows who's been playing baseball recently. He's homered every game. He's just 15. I don't just see 15% of people playing them. And you mentioned like Dickerson down below. There's a lot of good value on this slate I don't know. I think ownership's going to be condensed though on certain guys for sure. And I see Stanton being a lot more popular than 15%.
Okay. Very good. I do have just a question for you guys before we get to the Dodgers Padres game. So I'll go back to second base real quick. I know there's a little bit in the chat. By the way, hit the thumbs up. If we get to 75, you'll get some free swag or Travis's banana hammock, whatever you want. You can just choose. But Pinder versus Birdie.
Yeah, that's the decision. I mean, the thing what I'm finding myself though, if you need it, like there's DJ LeMahieu up top that you can go for, but Pinder's also third base eligible. And third base isn't great either. Like third base looks like the two best play or my favorite plays are Yandy Diaz and Chad Pinder. You could go up to Bregman or Turner or something like that, but I don't know. It's probably Pinder for me, but I think Pinder's going to be a lot more popular. So I think Birdie's the tournament pivot for sure.
Interesting. I mean, it just doesn't. I'm just trying to figure out what would you do to pay up there.
DJ LeMahieu.
Would you go LeMahieu? And
yeah, and I like that in tournaments a lot because I think that's good. I don't know. I still need to build. Like I say, I think it's going to be contrarian, but then I go back and the salary's so soft. Maybe people are just going to find a way to spend up. So it'll be interesting.
You know what? Just some game theory here. We all love game theory then. So if you're in tournaments and you have 5 lineups, how many would you just stack a team, and how many are just going to be mini stacks and one-offs? Because from what I'm hearing from both of you guys, that's kind of what the lean is right now. Title?
Yeah, so for these playoff slates, I've been kind of like doing more mini, like 3-man stacks, or instead of like the full 5-man stacks, I've been trying to pick off the home runs in a lot of the games just because we've seen a lot of like the points come from like the long ball. It hasn't really been doubles and runs and multiple RBI and multiple hit games. Like they're good pitchers that they're going against, so it's hard to have a four hit performance. So I'm trying to get the power home run bats and pick off those guys for each team. So like I'll have some Marlins, but I'm not full stacking the Marlins. Like I'll pick off the lefties. You can full stack the Yankees. That would be my favorite full stack of anything, but only a couple Rays I'm interested in that I would mini stack. I wouldn't full stack them. So it's mainly like a little 3 to 4 man stack for me for a couple teams.
What do you think there, Travis? What's kind of the plan of attack going into this thing?
Yeah, well, speaking of attacking, I want to attack Gary in the chat right now. So Gary said that Mookie Betts, because Mookie Betts sucks against lefties. Okay, so Gary, we're going to pull up Mookie Betts right now, okay? Yes, he's not as great against lefties with his power. Yes, you are correct about that, but his contact is great. And if we pull up, and again, they're going to change pitchers a lot. We won't even get much against it, but let's say Mr. Adrian here pitches, let's say he pitches 100 times to Mookie Betts, right? He throws the fastball, he throws the slider, and he throws the curve knuckle curve. Here are his numbers against those pitches specifically, Holden. You can tell me if this is good or bad. WOBA, 434. CX WOBA, 404. ISO, 301. Hard contact, 52%. His contact percentage, 90%. Now let's go to the changeup. Let's see how is he against that. Oh, the WOBA's 400. The ISO's 250. The contact rate is 87%. I mean, that's pretty good, right, Holden? And there's one more pitch he throws. He throws this one 20% of the time, the curve knuckle curve. Surely he might not be great against this. Well, it's like, okay, the ISO's not as great, right? The hard hit rate is 26%. The ISO's 170, but he still hits it at 90% like clip, right? Like, I don't care, man. Like Mookie Betts, he's good. I'm going to play Mookie Betts. I'm in on Mookie. He's going to be in a good spot here tonight. And I'm in on the Dodgers just in general. Like, I don't care what the Padres are going to throw out there for this Dodgers team. They have elite bats, and I don't want to ignore them. And their price tags, like if you look at the Dodgers typical prices, right? Like you're getting insane discounts from what they typically are. I mean, just pull up, go to DraftKings, just click the LAD button. You got Mookie Betts. What's his price tag? What is he at? Like 5,300.
Yes.
Here. You got Bellinger, 49. Like they're all like just really good price tags on these guys. Muncy, 4.6 is still good. Turner at 4.5. Like you were paying 5K in the past. Like, and the one thing I like having flexibility. I don't like this first game that much. I don't think it's one you have to go to. So I'm just gonna, backload a little bit so I can, mess with my lineups more.
Okay, very good. I like that. We got a question in the chat. Is it Birdie or Brousseau today? I guess they're down to one spot.
Yeah, I saw that question too. That's FanDuel Cash. Yes, I mean that's another one. You can flip a coin. I'll lean Brousseau just because of his power, but you can also steal. I don't know if I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but you can steal on Kyle Wright. So that's another reason I like Birdie and Dickerson and a couple other fast guys. Like you can steal on this guy if you get on base.
Hey guys, you're 22 shy of getting some free stuff, so make sure you hit the like button. Boom. Got 176 watching right now. 53. That is unacceptable. That's lower than Mookie Betts' ISO. Seriously.
Yeah. And
that's where we are right now.
We can't be lower than Mookie Betts' ISO. Come on.
Dude, he has a 3 what? He's over 300 ISO against lefties?
Let me pull it up. Hold on.
That's what I thought I heard out of your mouth.
No. So it was against that certain pitch, right? When lefties.
Oh, okay.
Pitch, like it's each pitch. So I actually like to look at like each pitch type and like see.
Good.
Because like I think it's like, I think it's like really important. Like, that's all. Like, and I see the percentage that they throw, and it's not an exact science. You know what I mean? I'm not out here like Bryson DeChambeau, like nailing down the perfect, science to it. But I am curious to see, like, listen, I'll tell you this: if Giancarlo Stanton was going up against the guy throwing a slider all day today, he'd be 1,000% a fade, because Giancarlo Stanton sucks against the slider. So it's just some guys, they struggle against certain pitch types, and that's things I want to look at.
Good stuff. All right, let's stick with you here for the rest of this Dodgers breakdown with the Padres. Maybe you can give me a little play or two on the Padres side, if you have any. Because what is it tonight? May and Gonsolin?
Yeah, I think those two, and then it might be Urias too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, May is the starter. That happened when we kind of got on here. So
yeah,
May,
so he'll do what, 2 or 3 innings?
That's all I would expect.
And then Gonsolin and Urias. So I mean, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Urias. Well, I guess it all depends. Like, if one of those guys get hit a little hard, Urias is more of a long, like, he can go 3 or 4 innings. So I guess it depends how long the first two make it out. I don't know for sure about that, but I think we know May gets Gonsolin for sure. So it's going to be a bullpen game, and it's an above average bullpen. Any arm they throw out, it's solid in the Dodgers. So
I know Travis is in the Dodgers on the Dodgers side. Do you have any just loves from this game on either side?
So I like, for tournaments, I like going Tatis and Machado, or at least picking one of them. I mean, these guys are just like, Tatis is going to be under-owned again because people are going to pay up for the Mookie Betts or Acuñas and Freemans because Padres have a 4 implied total, but it doesn't matter who's pitching against Tatis. He's locked in. He's dialed in. He just got robbed yesterday. Like, he's just a winner. So I love him and Machado in tournaments. I like the San Diego team a little bit, but it's not a team I'm going to full stack. Like, I would have those two, or have someone like Hosmer or someone else. I haven't seen their order. I expect it to be kind of similar, but it's mainly a little mini stack of the big bats, Machado, Tatis. And then on the Dodger side, I'm going to be underweight on the Dodgers because I like the Yankees a lot. I expect the Dodgers to be popular because they have a good total, and it's easy. Like we keep saying, it's easy to fit anybody you want. And people are going to find a way to use all their salary, which is going to be the Turners and Mookie Betts of the world and stuff like that. So I'm going to be underweight and take a underweight approach on this team and target guys like DJ LeMahieu and other guys from the Yankees and Marlins and the other spots. So that's just an ownership. You can't play everyone on a 8-team slate, 4-game slate. So
that's not true. That's not true, Ted. I was told if you play 150 lineups and you just run every single team, you just can print. It's just that easy. That's what I was told.
Take out a loan and then go experiment and just win all your money, I guess.
How do you not win all your money when you put 150 lineups in? And you do them by hand. If you do them by hand, you'll win. If you don't do them by hand, you'll lose.
No, you need the optimizer, because all you do, you plug it in, you sign up for contests. Holden, it's that easy. You sign up for contests, you open up the player pool, you put every player in the player pool, then you click 150 lineups, you just put some randomness in it, and then you hit optimize, and it's done. It takes 5 minutes, Holden, I promise you.
That's it?
Yep, and you win all the money.
How do I put all the 150 into DraftKings or FanDuel?
We can't tell them that part. That's the secret.
I can't like CVS or CBD or HGH. I don't know. I got to do something with some computer Excel stuff, and then I got to put it. It's such a pain in the ass. That's why I just keep it to 100 lineups. It's a lot easier to do by hand than 100 lineups. Hit the damn like button already, people. Anybody? Hey, Travis, you love the Dodgers tonight? Any Padres?
Yeah, I don't mind running back some Padres, right? Like, I don't think it's a terrible spot to do it. So, and if you're going to do it, right, you do it with the guys who, Tatis, Machado, all those power guys, and don't ignore the guys at the bottom lineup, right? Like, a great way to go is, like, let's say you want to stack this game up, like, play Will Smith, play Nola on FanDuel, and, like, dude, you're just so unique with that. It's, like, crazy. So that's a great route to go, and Nola's a great route to be different at catcher if you want to. He's, again, a guy that has some really good power and pop, can walk too, and, like, people always crap on walks, man. Like, oh, well, walks are the worst. Like, but guys that walk, man, they kind of keep that lineup turning for you. And that's really big in, when you're stacking things up.
Okay. Let's say you guys are stacking one team, and I'm going to take a guess. Title's going Yankees. You're going Doyers. Is that true?
Yeah. So I talked up the Dodgers a lot. It's because I like them, but I will say this. I like the Rays a lot. And the reason why I like the Rays, sure, maybe it's my I hate the Yankees bias leaking in a little, but if you tell me Jordan Montgomery is going to be X ownership percentage in tournaments, right? They are just like the top like tournament player. Like, how do you not, with the amount of power and pop they have, with Brousseau at the top of the lineup, who I liked a ton, with my boy Randy Macho Man Savage, like he's been smashing the ball. Can't ignore him. Hunter Renfroe, another guy, a righty that just hits lefties really well. Up and down this lineup, there's so many different guys that you can go to. They're really, really hard to ignore. So the Rays, they're probably my favorite, mainly because, like I said, I like the Dodgers. I like the Rays. But if Jordan Montgomery is going to have the ownership he has in tournaments, sign me up for the Rays over the Dodgers as my top stack.
All right, Title. You are going Yankees. Who's your favorite one-off today? One-off home run. Just throw a name out there that's going to be awesome.
So I'm gonna go against my guy Kyle Wright, but I'm gonna go Corey Dickerson. I just think the lefties. I like that mini stack a lot.
It's just like the mini stack there. All right, listen, we got 12. We got 12 likes to go before you either get Mangone's thong or the Run PS or the Run Pure sports stuff. You know what? While we got a couple minutes here at the end, and I know you guys are hammering out your cores right now, I just want to say real quick, Mangone, I've never played golf, but then you started winning like $12,000, so I figure I'm going to tail you this week. Who is the best DFS golf player at Run Pure Sports?
Oh, I mean, I got to pick. We got too many guys. So
right?
No, I'm
Who's
never
better
gonna pick
than you?
I'm never gonna pick myself.
All right, listen, we got Snyder, AP, Uncle T, and Coop. Who's rank them in order? Don't worry about hurting people's feelings.
I mean, you didn't even name my like number one choice if I had to pick. Like, I'd pick Coop because he plays the most money, and like
he's not on the sheet here.
Oh, well, what sheet is he not on? I mean,
I don't know. I'm on the core plays right now.
Oh, he's the cash guy. That's why. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, whatever. I mean, I would pick him mainly because, like, I don't know, he just plays the most, right?
What are you, the single entry guy?
I'm the single entry guy, but I don't want to pick like everyone's good. Like, I honestly, all those guys you mentioned, I had a conversation with about golf this week. So like, I clearly value all of their thoughts and information. So yeah, it's tough to obviously say. I mean, I talked with Coop last night about some Morikawa stuff. Talked to Snyder about some stuff. AP, I was talking with him about Hadley a little bit and looked at the playbooks. I know he was on it. Talked with Hoop. I mean, I talked to them all. So I like all the guys. I can't pick one.
I've got I'm stalling here, so we get these last 10 likes, and that's all I can tell you. This isn't even a stall though. I did want to plug the golf stuff because you were a huge winner last week. And then Title, you and I did our NFL spread show last night with Rubio. Make sure everybody checks that out. Title, why don't you give a little sneak peek into who is at the top of your list at running back and wide receiver, and then they can listen to the rest. Give me 2 names.
So yeah, that pod was really good. Not only do we just give out plays, I'll give them out in a sec, but we talk a lot of game theory on that pod and talk and like review the process from the week before and compare low dollar and high dollar stuff kind of percentages. It's just really informative if you're trying to, instead of just giving like plays, we give like the process and stuff. So I think it's a good listen, but a lot's going to change this week as we know, but my top plays, I'll give my top tournament plays. It was DJ Moore. I love DJ Moore a lot. The Teddy Bridgewater, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore stack.
One more.
And then just one more play.
Yeah.
David Johnson for tournaments.
Okay. All right. Listen, this is Titles. He's cleaning up, man. So I highly recommend that you check that out. Okay. This is it. 67.
That's not
losers.
enough.
Losers today. We're all losers. We lose. Nobody wins. All you got is great information from Mangone and Title, and that's all. The core plays will be up here in a sec, guys.
Yeah, so mine are pretty much most of mine are up. We have lock in 20 minutes. I'm going to jump in, add a couple more for you guys, and we'll be in Discord and stuff. And if lineups come out later that we didn't expect or something changes, we'll be letting you guys know in Discord for sure.
Yeah, my FanDuel one's up, and my DK one I'm finalizing now, and I might change it too, because again, like I'm not playing anyone in the early game unless they're a pitcher. So yeah, if you're kind of on the core plays and wondering what's going on, like just don't play guys in the early game. That's my take on it. If you want to play a guy though, perfectly fine, but they're not going to be one of my core plays unless they're pitching.
All right, hey, thanks a lot to Simon for running this back in the studio. For Title and Travis, my name is Holden. Hey, best of luck today in the baseball. Make sure you check out all of our content. We got a ton of NFL content in right now. We got the golf playbook is up, the PGA playbook. We got baseball. We got, I guess we'll have a showdown for the basketball game. Huh?
MMA. And my favorite, our MMA on Saturdays, huge
Are you
prize.
cleaning up? Are you cleaning up in MMA?
MMA's been pretty good too, and it's real close to definitely some takedowns. Hoop had a nice big T, so MMA is a very fun sweat if you enjoy two guys trying to kill each other in a ring.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I prefer like weapons, but if they want to use their hands and feet, that's fine.
No, hands and feet's the best.
No, swords and shanks. That's the way to go. All right, Travis, title. I'm Holden. Everybody take care. Good luck today.
Good luck, guys.